What's up you guys, it's Cameron here. Today's video is going to be informational, a lot of stuff about me that you're going to get to know, and hopefully I can help whoever I can if you're struggling with the same thing. I came out to my family as a transgender male in August of 2019, so last year. But that's not the only time I had to come out. That's not the only thing I've ever identified as. I've known that I've been attracted to women since I was like 10 or 11 years old. I came out when I was 13 because I was having trouble in school. I was being bullied for having a girlfriend. I was getting death threats. And when I told my mom, who is a very big Christian, grew up in a Christian household, I grew up going to church, she tried to ignore it, didn't want anything to do with it, didn't want to believe me. And then over time, she started to accept me as being a lesbian. And then, so I identified as a lesbian from the ages of 13 up to 18. And around the middle of 2019, I started feeling more attracted towards men. Like, for some reason, guys became much more attractive for some reason in 2019 for me. And I was talking with a friend, and I was like, I don't know, just people with light eyes and dark hair are extremely attractive. And I sent her a picture of a guy with like piercing blue eyes and messy brown hair, and I was like, see, this guy is really attractive. And she was like, are you sure that you're not bisexual? And I was like, I don't know, probably. For the next few months, I was talking with another friend about how she didn't know the difference between pansexual and bisexual. So I was trying to explain that bisexual is when you're attracted to males and females, and pansexual is when you don't care about the gender. You just are attracted to that person for who they are. And then after that After that conversation, I started thinking more about how I wouldn't mind being in a relationship with another trans person, whether it be a trans male or a trans female. Either way, we could help each other out. If I was dating a trans woman, which should be transitioning from male to female, I could help her with passing tips, and I could go with her to appointments and stuff like that. I could help her with her period. And if I was dating a trans male like myself, which is female to male, then we would have tips for each other. We would be there for each other and stuff like that. I also wouldn't mind dating someone who's non-binary. I wouldn't mind dating someone who's cis. The more that I thought about it, it occurred to me that like I just don't care about what people have. It's more about personality for me. So I since then identified as pansexual since like the beginning of 2020, I think, is when I finally like settled it. For the gender identity part, middle of 2019, I started questioning my identity and not really know where I stand in my own body. Like, I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I've always dressed masculine, so like even as a kid, I've always dressed masculine. But I didn't really feel like a girl, and I couldn't figure out if I felt like a boy. So I started going by they, them pronouns. I started addressing myself as non-binary. And then I was thinking more about it, and in the beginning of 2019, the beginning of last year, I started feeling uncomfortable in my body. And I was experiencing a lot of gender dysphoria and not liking my own body. And I've never really had that problem before. I've never been to insecure about my own body. And then I was thinking back on it, I can see myself wishing I looked more like a certain guy, or wishing I could sound like someone else, like with a deeper voice and stuff like that. I came out to my family and some friends in August of 2019, and they're very accepting. They're very loving and accepting, and it's great. It's nice to have a foundation, I guess, or a support system that you can fall back on and stuff like that. And it's the best thing in the world. And I haven't even been out for a year. Later this month, March of 2020, is my first initial testosterone appointment. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's just gonna be paperwork and stuff. But yeah, the entire point, like what I'm mainly trying to say is, if you're struggling with your identity or your sexuality, it takes time. It's not going to change overnight. You're not going to figure it out overnight. You'll figure it out. And you'll be okay. And if you're worried about losing friends or losing family members that you're close to after coming out, the friends that you meet after you come out and after you start to accept yourself are the best people you will ever meet. I promise.